the season for groups of merrymakers to stand outside your front door and make demands for everyone's favorite elaborate dessert, figgy pudding. But what is it, and why do we request a dessert that's so obscure and so time-consuming to make? Instead of spending another holiday season pretending like we all know what figgy pudding is, let's finally figure it out. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with figs or pudding. Figgy pudding has a few different names, most commonly Christmas pudding or plum pudding. And we're not talking about pudding in the snack pack custard sense, but rather a very broad, somewhat confusing British definition. Pudding sometimes feels like a catch-all. They can be savory like the Yorkshire pudding, sweet like a sticky toffee pudding, or can be a straight-up sausage like black pudding. They can be stuffed, boiled, steamed, fried, baked, and to some people the word simply refers to the dessert course of the meal. Beyond the incredibly confusing name, figgy pudding seems to have made its earliest appearance in medieval times as a sort of porridge or pottage, which is a kind of thick stew. This original form was heavy on the meats and typically served at the start of the meal. It was packed in animal intestines and stomachs to help preserve the dish. Later, the pudding shifted from savory to sweet and included more dried fruits and spices along with wine or beer to extend its shelf life. Animal stomachs were replaced by a sort of floured sack, convenient for modern-day fans who might not have a spare stomach lying around. The dish also includes animal suet as a binding agent and a deliciously festive fat. Because of the alcohol content and preparation, figgy pudding gained popularity as a long-lasting treat that could survive long-distance shipping to far-flung relatives. Figgy pudding may also be considered the bad boy of the dessert world. It was banned by the notable Puritan and OG Grinch Oliver Cromwell, along with caroling and Yule logs. In a real footloose move, Cromwell outlawed any of the Christmas traditions deemed too pagan in nature. And the Massachusetts Puritans took it to the next level and banned Christmas altogether. That was literally the year without a Santa Claus. After the Puritans fell out of power in Britain, Christmas was restored again, hooray, with the proud pudding tradition. King George specially requested plum pudding at his first Christmas feast in 1714, earning him the nickname the Pudding King. Figgy pudding in its modern form came to popularity during the Victorian era. Prince Albert was a big fan, and Charles Dickens memorably wrote it into Tiny Tim's Christmas celebration. The recipe for modern figgy pudding is loaded with Christian symbolism. There's 13 ingredients, which represents Jesus and his 12 apostles. The sprig of holly that decorates the top stands for the crown of thorns, and even lighting the whole thing on fire before it's served is said to represent the passion of Christ. Figgy pudding also comes with its own holiday. Call it a kickoff to the Christmas season, which is known as Stir Up Sunday because we need just another obligation. Family members gather to make the seasonal dish, each taking a turn to stir the pudding from east to west, as a nod to the Magi's travels in the Nativity story and making a wish while they stir. The figgy pudding then sits until Christmas, giving the alcohol plenty of time to draw out the flavors, aka bring out the funk. Before serving, the pudding is doused with brandy and then set on fire because there's nothing that says celebration quite like a flaming dessert. Some figgy puddings also include a silver coin or a small trinket inside, bringing luck to whoever finds it in their slice. Especially brave revelers might even engage in a game of Snapdragons, which includes trying to grab a raisin out of the flaming dessert. Do not try that at home. So next time you find yourself belting out "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" on your neighbor's stoop, maybe consider a simpler dessert, one that doesn't take 5 weeks to prepare, require 13 ingredients to make, and come out as a ball of fire. Maybe we could settle for a simple Oreo or even just a thumbs up. Now bring us whatever leftover Halloween candy you still have. Does kind of have a certain ring to it.